$2.3 million with one email marketing strategy? Well, that's actually not the complete truth, because this is actually an old screenshot. Right now, it'd be closer towards 10 million, but we don't have all that in one place, so I figured to show that one. Either way, I'm gonna break down what it is, how to implement it, and also why this works so well. So before I figured any of this out, I remember I collected a couple thousand email subscribers onto my email list, and I felt like, the king of the world, and I was gonna try to sell something, because, well, that's what everyone told me to do, right? So I sent out a little email saying something along the lines of like, hey, pretty please, if you want, you can buy my stuff, right? If not, no worries, right? I had zero clue how to actually sell. I not even market, I didn't even know how to write in benefits, or I had absolutely zero clue. And yet, out of the, I think 2,000 or 3,000 email subscribers, I made around $10,000 in revenue, which, is not a huge deal, right? But what it showed me is that the power of email marketing, and even though some people say like, oh, email marketing is dead, it is far from that, because guess what? I'm checking the very first thing in the morning. It's still email, and there's many people alongside with me, right? So how do you actually use that? How do you use your email subscribers in a way that people want to essentially throw money at you, right? That's what I'm gonna break down, because over the years, we've been perfecting the system of like, how do we get, if whatever we do, a special offer, a special promotion, how do we actually get people to engage with that and actually want to buy? And there's actually a key part in that I just mentioned, and that is to have a special offer, right? What works really well with email is if you have something, so like either you decrease the price for a few days, or you add something on top of it, you stack the value, right? You add a bonus or something extra. So there is a limited time of like a couple of days where they have to make a decision. After that, they can still buy your product, they can still buy your service, but only for that period of time, they can get this package, this bundle, this special price, whatever it is, right? Because that way you force people essentially to make a decision, right? They don't have to buy, they can also just completely ignore it, but that's still a decision, because there's no way they can still get that same offer, right? So when you have that, when you launch, for example, a new product or a new service, or you have a special offer going on, how do you properly use your email list in an effective way to get most sales out? This is the model that we've been using over and over. On the very first day, we send out a teaser email. This is an email where we don't sell anything. There's no link to a sales page, nothing, right? All it does is it starts talking about either the opportunity or the problem that our product actually resolves, right? It just gets people warmed up and be excited for the next day, right? And oftentimes this is a story where I talk about a problem that I've experienced, and finally I actually figured out a solution, right? The problem is no more, but I'll tell more about that tomorrow, right? Or if it's very much discount oriented, like if I'm sending this to people that already know my product or service, then I would send out an email or something along the lines of like, hey, if you're planning to buy my product, do not buy, because I got something very special coming out tomorrow, right? If they're already they're on your list because they already know about your product, for example. Just to get people ready and knowing hey, something is coming, but we're not selling anything just yet. And the reason why we do the story part on that day is because then the next day I'll do the announcement. This is the email which will have a link to the actual sales page, right? And what I want to do in this email, I still want to have the story element in there. So I sort of I continue from the day before, but I still make sure also that even if you didn't read the email the day before, this email would still make sense. But what's very important, and this has changed over time, right? But what's very important is that in this email, if they read just the email, they should still know what the offer is, right? They might not need to know the exact price, they might not need to know all the details, but they should know enough about it. And the reason why we do that is because I've also done the blind emails where it's not very clear what it's about. They have to click on the link to actually find out. And yes, that's great to get a slightly higher click-through rate, but the reality is most people will still not click on the link. Look in your own stats in your own email autoresponder. Most people will not click, right? That's the way it is because we're all busy. But we don't need people to actually click and buy. We need people to at least know about your offer. They need to know about what problem you resolve and why your solution is better, at least in some extent, right? So they should know hey, there's a special offer going on. This is what it is. If they're super passionate, they're gonna click on it, they're gonna buy. If they're not into it as much, they still know, right? It's in the back of their mind. They're just gonna go back to their email and read another email, but at least they know at this point, which means we're all prepared for the next day, which is email number 3 on day number 3, which is our social proof email, right? On this day, we always focus on social proof, which means that it's not just us saying that this thing is actually working, it's other people sharing that. This could be case studies, this could be testimonials. There should be overwhelming proof that what you're saying is true, that the problem that you're claiming you're resolving, you resolve in a really good way, or the results that you're providing, you actually provide, or the quality of your product, or how great it is. Other people will share that, and that's in the email. So the whole objective of this email is, again, to give undeniable proof that this is amazing. So at this point, they've seen your story on the very first day, they got your offer on the next day, and then they have social proof. But guess what? they're still gonna have objections. They're still gonna have stuff that like, but it doesn't work with this, or doesn't integrate with that, or doesn't work for my business, or doesn't work for my cat, or whatever it is. They have stuff, they have reasons why they wouldn't buy. If you're not sure what those reasons are, your customer support will tell you. If you do that yourself, you will know. Or there's just people asking like, hey, does it work with this? Like whatever people are asking, whatever you can come up with when you talk to prospects, what are the reasons why would they not buy, right? Because that's where we're gonna use in day number 4, email number 4, which is what I call the FAQ email, frequently asked questions. This is the easiest email to write and yet the most effective to overcome all those objections. Because let's say you have a list of 10 different objections. How are you gonna write an email that covers all of those? Your FAQ email. I literally sent out an email to my audience saying like, hey, over the last couple of days, I got various questions about so-so offer. So in this email, I want to break down all those questions and answers so it's fully clear, you know, everything is all good. And here's the link in case you really want to get access, right? And then I literally just list down question, answer. I make sure the questions are in bold so that actually that's very clear and they can just scan through. And I would one by one would just go over. And I would still assume that some people who are reading this email have not seen any of the previous emails. So the first question would be, hey, what is whatever product, right? Or like, what is the special offer that's going on? Where you have like a 1 paragraph description of like what this is and like what the offer is. I would have a question like, hey, is there a money back guarantee? Yes, there's a money back guarantee. Objection by objection by objection. Does this work for my business? I give the answer. Whatever it is, one by one, because again, the goal is to remove all the objections, right? And then finally, we're there on the 5th day, the last day. This is the day where everyone has to make a decision. Either they buy or they don't. That's it. There's 2 flavors, nothing more. On this day, as annoying as it is, I realized that the more emails I send, the more money we make, right? So I try to not be too spammy. So what we do send out 3 emails on this day, but not to everyone. First of all, a morning email, which reminds people this is the last day. If you want to get access, now is the time to do it. Goes out to everyone. And then later in the day, somewhere mid-afternoon, another email goes out to everyone. Very short and to the point to get people to buy. And then one closer towards the actual deadline, we send out like 3 or 4 hours before the deadline. We send out again once more, but that's only to all the people that actually have engaged in this campaign. So that means that everyone who's clicked on any of those links that we know have actually read one of the emails and has clicked through to the sales page, the 3rd email is just going out to that, because I know, again, the 3rd email will make more money, but I don't want to annoy everyone who is not really engaged. And as simple as it sounds, this is the exact model we repeat every single time when we do some kind of a special offer, when we launch a new product, when we work with affiliates. We do a tease, we do the promotion, we do the social proof, we cover all objections with the FAQ, and then we close with 3 scarcity and urgency driven emails. Very easy to do and very profitable as well. Let me know in the comments if this is similar as what you've been doing in your business. All right, cut, we're done here. Let's wrap it up. Oh, well, sorry, you're still there. Well, in that case, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel where I share marketing tips, tricks, and strategies that will help you grow your business faster. So you can click on the subscribe button right now or check out the next video. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.